But first, the poker machine industry. Not got a fabulous reputation. There's the addictive tendencies and money losses and ruining of people's lives thing.
And it's now even creepier. It was revealed today by independent MP Andrew Wilkie that many pokey-owning pubs are keeping spreadsheets of gamblers' details, interests and habits.
Yeah, but this story is not really about a spreadsheet. It's about the Tasmanian state election.
No, seriously, it is.
Australians have had a fairly recent but very intense love affair with poker machines.
Good boy.
While the OG slot machine, the Clubman, was developed in 1953, it wasn't until the 1990s that several states voted to introduce the machines into pubs and clubs. Since then, their popularity has soared. Australia has just 0.3% of the world's population, but 18% of the world's poker machines. That's roughly one machine for every 114 people. By that count, we're third in the world, just behind famous gambling meccas like Monaco and Macau. And New South Wales has the second highest number of poker machines for a state in the world, only beaten by Nevada, home of Las Vegas. It's also where the machines are that sets us apart. Most of the million or so poker machines globally are in places like casinos, but here, they're everywhere, including local pubs and clubs.
The poker machine reform is a big deal. It's a big issue at this Saturday's election in Tasmania.
Yep, you heard right. Pokies have become one of the major political squabbles in the upcoming Tasmanian state election. The state's Labor Party says if elected, they'll funnel millions of dollars into encouraging venues to phase out poker machines by 2023. But the state Liberal government has only committed to reducing the total number of pokies there by 150 machines. They say it's about keeping jobs and revenue in the state.
There is clearly an enormous amount of money being donated to the Liberal Party. It is obviously coming in large part from the gambling industry and the poker machine industry.
The race is close, but the stakes are high. If Labor win, it could pressure other states to follow suit in clamping down on pokies.
Joining us now is Katie Acheson from Youth Action. Now, Katie, I was pretty shocked to learn today that it's actually 18 to 24-year-olds who spend more money than any other age category on pokie machines. How and why is this happening?
You know, it's astonishing how much we're spending. I mean, $24 billion a year Australians spend on gambling. I had no idea it was that high. And yeah, the fact that it's so many young people are falling prey to the gambling bug, it is really concerning.
Now, in New South Wales, an adult loses on average $978 a year on poker machines, and a regular gambler can lose around $3,500 a year. What sort of impact could losing that much money have on a young person who's maybe just starting out?
Yeah, I don't know many young people these days who have $3,000 sitting around that they're able to lose. Think about how long it takes young people to get a job these days, the challenge of even being able to afford rent, and if you're lucky enough to go to university, the debt that you already have for your university degree. Young people aren't in a position where they have this money that's set aside, and actually we've got to remember that if you gamble, you are going to lose. And so young people gambling is a huge risk for them. We're looking at homelessness and increased issues of stress and anxiety, mental health issues, because that money that you need to be able to lose safely, essentially, to not affect your life so that you can pay rent and make sure you get to work on time, have the money to get on that bus. If you're losing it in the gambling, what's going to happen to your life outside of that?
If Labor win in Tasmania and poker machines are phased out, do you think we'll see a similar push around the country?
Oh, I hope so. I think what Tasmania is doing is really cutting edge. It's looking at the fact that gambling is a massive problem for Australians. I mean, we have 20% of all the poker machines in the entire world just in our tiny little country. I mean,
wow.
Population-wise, it's just insane how much money we're spending on gambling, and particularly on pokies. So I think what Tassie is doing is saying, look, here's this, gambling is an issue overall. There's lots of different ways of gambling, but pokies are a real significant issue because they're very visible, and it's normalising gambling behaviour. And so we've got massive debts for people, and gambling is destroying lives. So if Tassie can get rid of this, I think most of the other states and territories are going to be looking at it. But then we need to ask the question about what's going to happen with the lobby money that the gambling industry is putting into politics. If they're going to lose that foothold, I'm sure that there are a lot of politicians who don't want to lose those kickbacks.
Well, they'll be more than welcome to give it specifically to me. All right, thank you so much for joining us, Katie.
Thanks for having me, guys.